Back now on Newsmax Prime, I'm J.D. Hayworth. Leaders from the Persian Gulf preparing to come to this nation, specifically to Camp David for the Gulf Arab Summit. The meeting aimed at bolstering the U.S. alliance with those Gulf nations, but a couple of key allies are sending stand-ins for their leaders. Saudi Arabia's King Salman announced yesterday he will not meet with the president. He won't even attend the summit. Instead, he is sending Crown Prince Mohammed bin Nayef. But the abrupt change has many experts calling it a snub. Couple that with news coming out earlier today that Bahrain has likewise made a change in who will show up at this summit, and it could be a recipe for concern. Here to talk about it, our good friend and Mideast expert, Dr. Rabil.
Thank you, Congressman, for having me here. It's always a pleasure.
Well, thank you, sir. Now, you're an academic, but you understand diplomacy.
Yes.
For the Saudi king and the leader of Bahrain to say, well, we're going to send subordinates.
Yes.
Is it a snub?
Well, it is a slight snub. It's not going to take much from the substance or the importance of the summit. And I'll tell you why. King Salman is not coming. He's sending a sign. I am not happy with what's going on. But he's sending the crown prince and his son, the defense minister. And the king of Bahrain is not coming, but also he's sending the crown prince. So mainly they are not sending people who are second level. They are sending top level people who are closely connected to the king of Bahrain and the king of Saudi Arabia. Also, I will add that you have the other leader. You have the Emir of Kuwait, Emir Sabah al-Ahmad is coming. And you have the Emir of Qatar, also he's coming. So mainly what they are sending double message. We are unhappy with what's going on, but we are serious to speak with you, and let's see how we are going to work out better cooperation, especially on security between us and you.
Professor, I'm just curious though.
Please.
When you see what's going on, with reference to a proxy war in Yemen.
Yes.
Saudi Arabia versus Iran.
Yes.
Is this the principal bone of contention that is keeping King Salman away?
This is one. Syria too. And especially the Iranian nuclear program. As a matter of fact, if we are going to go by sequence, by order, we'll have the Iranian nuclear program, Iran's support of its proxy, its Shia proxy, and then you have Yemen and Syria. So it is a combination of factors, but I think myself, it's Iran, its position in the region, the impact of having a possibility of having a nuclear weapon on the security of the region. So these are the issues that they are making the Gulfi extremely nervous.
I want to talk more about Syria in just
Please.
a minute, but as you mentioned, nuclear proliferation may not be limited to Iran if that happens.
No.
Saudi Arabia wants that weapon.
Yes, if Iran gets the weapon, Saudi Arabia already in the process probably of having the weapon. Let's not forget, Saudi Arabia at one time not too long ago supported Pakistan, and some scholars, including me, believe that Saudi Arabia was behind funding Pakistan in acquiring the nuclear weapon. So I'm not saying that the Pakistani nuclear bomb is a Saudi bomb. I would say that the Saudi, if they want to have a weapon, they could have the means of acquiring a weapon. There is also a second thing that it's not being spoken a lot about in the region. Mainly United Arab Emirates. United Arab Emirates is moving to having nuclear plants. One, it's going to be done in 2016, 2017, and the other two, they're going to be shortly also be completed. So here we are seeing signs of, yes, if Iran's going to move in that direction, immediately we are going to see other countries moving in that direction as well.
And it becomes problematic as we take a look at the nations there on the Persian Gulf and closely aligned. And you mentioned UAE, ostensibly nuclear plant for power.
Yes.
In that region with so much petrol, seems nuclear power may be my excuse. You wrote an article in the National Interest that's appeared about Syria. Have about a minute and a half. Curious on your take on what is happening with Syria and our relationship with Syria.
Two arguments. The argument first is that they are saying that the Syrian regime is falling apart. I'm telling them the Assad dynasty is falling apart, and what you are going to have a Alawi face but an Iranian mind. This is the first argument. The second argument, they're saying, well, the opposition and how it's moving because it has been able to acquire certain territory, important for the regime. And I would say yes, but this is thanks to cooperation between the Islamist Jaish al-Islam and al-Nusra Front, and both are supported by Saudi Arabia and Turkey. And I am worried about the event that this will go in that really will make no other alternative but Islamist. And those Islamists are Salafi jihadi, and I am worried about that.
Yeah, I would be remiss because at times we talk about nuclear weapons as if these are pawns on a chessboard. This is a deadly serious game. Nuclear proliferation in the Middle East, Iran, Saudi Arabia, you even mentioned the UAE.
Yes.
Or do you think, with 15 seconds left, that is a likelihood, a strong probability?
I think for now, I think it's a probability. I don't think it's high or low. It's right there in the middle.
Fair enough. We will leave it there. We will come back more with Professor Rabil. We'll also visit with David Rubin. That's next.